is up, YouTube? It is your boy Drago, and today what I have for you is a Black Ops Cold War weapons tier list. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So for the first weapon we have is the 1911, and I'll put that in A. The reason why it's an A is because, and I'm talking about the single 1911. If I was talking about the dual wield, it has a case for S. I feel like all the pistols has a case for S. If we're talking about dual wield capability, but just a single pistol by itself, it actually got banned in competitive play and pro play, because obviously a pro player's trigger finger is insane. This weapon has no fire rate cap, so if you were to if you got a good trigger finger, it's gonna melt. So A tier I feel like is warranted for this weapon. Next we got the Ironhide, and that's S tier, no question about it. This shotgun literally one hits you from like 15 meters. No other shotgun in the game can do that, and I think for good reasons. S tier weapon it is. Next weapon we got is the AK-47. Now this is a weapon that been S tier throughout the whole game's life cycle, just based off how fast it kills. Like it melts pretty fast. I want to say it kills in 4 bullets, and that's insane for this game where it's 150 health. So the damage is insane. So stays in S tier. Next weapon we have is the AK-74U. Now this questionably could be in B or A. I'll put it in A tier because it still has a place in the meta. Although it's not as overpowered as it used to be when this game first came out, no question about it, it was an S tier weapon, because there's a lot of SMGs that overtook that spot, like the LC-10, the Tech 9, what have you. Even the Mag 10, it does the SMG role better than the 74U does. Although the 74U is kind of a hybrid between SMG and AR, and LC-10 overtakes it by a mile, so it's still an S tier weapon, just not as strong as it used to be, and it also got nerfed too. Next weapon we got is the AM-63. Now Akimbo, once again S tier, obviously because it's dual wield. There's 2 of these, but by itself it's horrible. I think it's one of the slowest killing weapons in the game, like slower than the Krieg, which is like hard to believe for a machine pistol. So D tier it is. AUG S tier, 1 burst capability. It's been S tier since the game release. Just the fact that there's 150 health and this weapon can 1 burst with only shooting 3 rounds is actually insane. S tier. A lot of the attack rifles are going to be S tier. Ballistic knives, horrible. Don't even waste your time. It's horrendous. Kids beyond, don't even waste your time. I only seen 1 or 2 people use this my whole time playing Cold War since this weapon dropped. Only seen like 2 people use it, and they were getting slammed. It is crazy because in BO4 this weapon used to run shit. Not in this game. Okay, so now we got the bat, the axe. I'm just do all the melee weapons. They're all D, and the reason why is because you don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Simple as that. Like the only way you can really like find success with these kinds of weapons is if you are good at like camping corners and sneaking up on people. But if you're not really gonna find too much success. Like it's only good in close range. That's about it. I guess it could be a little higher because of the running capability, but like the pistols also move fast with have a faster running capability for like break off routes and whatnot. So honestly would rather have a pistol unless you're going for challenges. I mean, these are all essentially the same thing as the regular knife. It's just a different aesthetic look, and it's all in the same category for me. It's only viable in close range, and that's about it. And there is a little lunge in this game, but it isn't insane. So that's about it. So we got the Bullfrog. I will put this in C. Pretty average for the SMG category. It's what I would consider to be what is the word I'm looking for? It is the jack of all trades SMG. That's it. So it's not great at particularly anything, but it's also not bad at particularly anything. So it just gets the job done. It's a decent SMG. C58, I would put this at D as well. For the simple fact, I don't even see it be used that much. And I know it's like a slower firing AR, but I don't see it being used. It might have a case for C. I just don't really see this weapon at all. Car V, S tier. Even though it doesn't have one burst capability, it has a slower burst delay, and it can one burst if you land all of them to the head, or maybe like one or something to the head. So definitely also insane. Um, Bro, these tactical rifles in this game are nuts. This is a F tier weapon. I mean, it's not really a weapon. This is only for taking down shrieks, I believe. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. And there's no real use besides that. And if you're a guy that takes down shrieks or takes down UAVs and counter UAVs and you're not going for challenges, you're a weirdo. Okay, now we got the Diamante pistol, and I'll put that at C tier. Despite me having this on every class I run, it isn't the best secondary per se. The only reason why I run this is because the 1911's got G8 in competitive, so all the competitive players were forced to run the Diamantes, and it's not really a good primary per se. Like, it's a two burst. You have to land like all of your two bursts to get a kill, and I don't really use it to as a primary. I use it to finish off kills, so it's okay. It's okay. It's not the greatest. For the next weapon, we got the DMR, and that would be an A tier. Actually, S tier. Still insane. I think it's still 2 shots. I don't know for sure 3 shots, but I think it's 2 shots, and that's also insane in a 150 health game without a fire rate cap, or at least I don't think there's a fire rate cap. The what is this called? S tier though. S tier. It has the fastest time to kill potential in the AR category. Hands down S tier. They still nerfed it, but it's still insane. The Farah would be a C tier. It's like the Krieg, but I think a little bit faster. But I somehow still think the Krieg is better. I don't know why. I don't see it being used that often. Just keep it in C. Maybe B. The FFAR, A tier. It has A tier potential, but that's if you can control recoil. If you can't control recoil, it probably has a case for B, or maybe even C, because it's only good at close range if you can't control the recoil. But if you can control the recoil, you can extend the range. That's why I call it a skill weapon. You can extend the range, and it's very, very good. And it competes with subs in close range, so I'll put an A tier. The Gallo, C. The Gallo is the worst shotgun by far. Semi-automatic. I just rather use any other shotgun. Despite me not using shotguns, I'd rather use any other shotgun than the Gallo. The Grav, I'll put that in B. Great AR, don't see it being used that often, but you know it's the Black Ops 1 Galil. It was in BO4. I'm pretty sure there's a BO3 version of it. Yeah, there was a BO3 version of it. It's the Galil. You know what to expect out of that. The Groza, I'll put that in B as well. I've never used it, but from players using it against me, I assume it's viable. It isn't horrible by any means, but it doesn't like stand out, so I'll just put it in B. Granted, I didn't use all these weapons. There's a lot of weapons in this game that I haven't used. I'm just rating them on what I see when they're used against me. That's the only way I can actually rate them if I haven't used them, and not know what's overpowered and what isn't. So the Howler, that would be an A tier shotgun. It is, once again, it's not quite the Ironhide. The Howler is probably like half the one-shot range, but the one-shot capability in a 150 health game is insane on its own, because if I were using the SMG, I would have to land 5 shots, whereas you only have to land 1 pump on me, and then I'm dead, so it has to be up there. Krieg, put that in A tier. It has one of the slowest time to kills for a fully auto weapon, but if you treat it like an AR and only use it as an AR, it absolutely beams, it shreds. If you land headshots with it, especially, I think like 2 or something, you will melt. But if you land all headshots, you're melting for sure. And also, if you use the Ranger barrel, the bullet velocity will be like technically hit scan. I don't know if any other weapon has a higher bullet velocity, but definitely A tier just because of that. But in close range, this gun is absolutely horrible. KSP, I'll say that's a B tier weapon. This weapon, I'm pretty sure it's still a 2 burst unless you use like Task Force Barrel or something crazy, or land all headshots, which would make it higher. But I think it's viable. I see it being used a good amount in my lobbies, and it's not a pushover. LC10, that would be an A tier weapon. It overtakes the 74U. Honestly, I have a case for being S. I might put an S, to be honest. It shoots faster than 74U. It has better bullet velocity than 74U. It it shoots faster, so it has a higher time to kill. Lower time to kill, which means it melts quicker. Essentially like an AR SMG hybrid, like the 74U, but it's just better in every other way. So, in the 74U got nerfed on top of that, so definitely higher than 74U. Tundra, S tier. Once again, for a one-hit weapon in a time to kill in a 150 health game, which means a time to kill. If I use an AR, any AR, I have to land 5 shots to a sniper. Whereas if a sniper lands 1 bullet to me above the waist, I'm dead. So there's no beating a Tundra if it's already aimed in. If someone is hard scoping with the Tundra, there's not really many weapons in the game that can beat it. And then on top of that, there's aim assist. So if there's aim assist on the sniper, like I think the sniper would be balanced if there was an aim assist. But since there's aim assist on the sniper, it hardly misses, especially for a controller player. Even on mouse and keyboard, you have a chance with it because you don't have to worry about tracking. You just have to worry about landing 1 shot. So definitely an S tier weapon. Not too many weapons in this game can beat it at long ranges. Aim down sights, you can lock down lanes with it. I think it's the best sniper in the game, and S tier is warranted. M16 S tier, 1 burst capability like the AUG. Once again, 1 burst capability, it kills insanely fast, where I have to land 5 shots against you with any other full auto weapon, and you can just 1 burst me with a 3-round burst. Has to be an S, and I see this used in my lobbies a lot, and it reigns supreme. Honestly think it's better than the AUG because I see it more than the AUG, but I don't know for sure. Next we got the Stoner. I'll say the Stoner is a good A tier weapon. All the LMGs in this game is A or higher, for the simple fact, a lot of rounds. You can pre-aim, lockdown lines of sights. If you challenge a long line of sight, there's not many weapons in the game that can beat you. A Krig has a chance. Other ARs have a chance if you can control recoil, but not too many weapons can beat it. This is a D tier weapon, a grenade launcher, although it does 1 hit if you land a direct impact. But if you don't, it's absolutely horrendous. If you're not using this for challenges and you're just using it for fun, you're absolutely out of your mind. The Barrett 50 cal, the M82 is horrible in this game. It takes years to aim in. Although it essentially does the same thing the Tundra does, because the 1-hit ability is almost as good as the Tundra, it's not quite. If you're using this as a pre-aim weapon, once again, it can be higher. But because the Tundra aims in a little bit faster, I don't know how much, but a little bit faster, it's still able to quick scope. It's still the most popular sniper in the game. The Tundra is miles ahead better than the M82. Mac 10, we'll put that in A tier. The shotgun got a case for being better, but yep, since the Mac 10 entered the game, the 74U started to lose a lot of popularity, and so did when LC10 joined. But this is hands down the best SMG in close quarters. A tier is a deserving spot. The Magnum, I will put this in C tier, but if you akimbo it and put Task Force Barrel on it, and they were literally like, it was like Ironhide range. It was pretty insane. I was getting 1 tap or 2 tap because it's akimbo or dual wheel, and that would put in S tier. But like I said, for all the pistols in this game, even the Diamatti, it would be S tier if you akimbo it. Marshals, insane. And I'm just talking about the Kimball Marshals is absolutely cheese. I don't know about the single shot Marshals. I still think it has a case for it. But the Kimball Marshals, this is one where I will go on a limb and talk about the Kimbo only. This is absolutely cheese. Remove this from your game. There shouldn't be a pistol, which essentially is a shotgun, but it's in a pistol category. So since it's in a pistol category, it can be akimbo. You're looking at like the models 1887 all over again. Not quite the same range. And then there's like a fire capability. Like you can shoot fire shells. It's stupid. This gun is stupid. It absolutely runs. The M60 A tier over the Stoner. Honestly, I would put this. It's one of the best range weapons in the game. It shoots pretty fast. It absolutely melts. I was getting melted by that one time. By a shitter too. It's crazy. Milano, C tier. Once again, it's like a jack of all trades. It's more like an AR. It shoots very slow. It's more like an AR, but I feel like the Bullfrog is better than it in close range. So, C tier. MP5, I'll put that in B tier. It's very, very great in close range. It's not quite the Mac 10 in close range, but it definitely beats out the 74U in close range. But that's about it. It's only good in close range. Nail gun. Dog, don't waste your time. It's absolutely horrible. It's not the BO3 nail gun. OTS, I will put this in B tier maybe. I don't really see it being used that much anymore. It was very popular, especially when it was like the meta in Warzone. But don't see it being used that much anymore. And I think B tier is alright for it. Pellington, C tier. Never had the same popularity as the Tundra, and the reason why it's in C tier is because it's another sniper that overtook it, and that's the Swiss, and this is the quick scoping sniper. The preferable quick scoping sniper is more popular than Pellington nowadays. Pellington do be used here and there, but I see the Swiss used more often. So was the Tundra still, and I honestly see the ZRG being used more than the Pellington, but I'll put the ZRG because it aims in super slow, but it's still technically cheese. If you're pre-aiming it, S. I would leave it in S because if you're pre-aiming it, it's absolutely insane. But it takes years to aim in. This is just fucking awful. I don't care. The PPSH would be A tier. It is better than 74U2 in close range. It doesn't shoot faster than Mac 10, but it does shoot insanely fast. And you can melt with this, especially with task force barrel. I was getting shit all the time when someone's using task force barrel with that. QBZ, B tier. It's not quite the XM4. XM4 would be an A. It's not quite the XM4, but it is. It's very accurate. It's more accurate than XM4, but XM4 got a faster T to K. But the XM4 has more recoil, so if you can't control the recoil with the XM4, definitely a meta weapon. The crossbow, absolutely run shit in this game. Absolutely run shit. This is the best sniper in the game, the best shotgun in the game, the best everything in this game. This weapon, I don't care if you say you gotta rechamber, you gotta rebolt it. In a one-on-one head-to-head gunfight, most players don't miss with this thing. It's absolutely stupid. And if you land one bolt to some guy, they're dead. A lot of times people are pre-aiming it, so it's really kind of hard to miss. And on top of that, it has aim assist. Once again, any one-hit weapon in this game, I would even say shotguns, shouldn't have no aim assist. That should be the skill gap. It shouldn't have any aim assist. Especially the snipers, any of the snipers, they shouldn't have aim assist. Because it's a 150 health game. Remember that, it's 150 health. I think if it still didn't have aim assist, it would still be stupid. But it would make it a little better. But it's a 150 health game, right? Every other weapon in this game has to land 5 bullets or more to get a kill, right? 5 bullets or more to get a kill. You only have to land 1 bolt anywhere to the body. I don't care if it's a toe. Every gun I have in the S tier is cheese. To some degree, it's cheesy. Not so much the LC10. In fact, I'll just put the LC10 in A tier. But every weapon you see in the S tier is cheesy. RPD, A. Rocket launcher, F. Horrible accuracy. If you try to use this to take down UAVs, it's almost impossible. This is the this is the Stoner. I don't even know at this point. They're all A. All the RPGs is A. All the LMGs is A. This is stupid too. This 2-shot with task force barrel. It's an automatic shotgun, 2-shot with task force barrel. Ridiculous. I almost forgot. The infamous Tech 9 ruined every ounce of weapon balance in this game. Every gun in this game kills in 5 bullets, which is close to 300 milliseconds, right? This gun kills in half that. And I'm talking with the full auto attachment. Even without the full auto attachment, it's still stupid. But with the full auto attachment, this gun kills in like 186 milliseconds. It's ridiculous. It's insane. If someone were using this, I'll pull it out and no one in the lobby is going to have fun. I'm definitely not going to have fun just melting people insane. Like just insanely melting people. And most of the players will back out. It shouldn't be in the game. Now, I understand the reason why they have cheesy stuff like this in the game. Hold on. Type 69 or Type 59, whatever. B tier. It's the worst attack rifle in the category. Every other attack rifle is S tier. I understand the reason why they have these cheesy like weapons in the game, like the crossbow, like the Tech 9, like the Marshalls. It's so these sorry players could get a kill. These sorry players, these noobs, whatever. So they can get a kill, right? But what they didn't think about was these higher skill lobbies. Whereas you giving these higher skill players, quote unquote higher skill players, cheese essentially. And then at that point, it gets to the point of who can out cheese the other guy more until the other guy doesn't want to play the game anymore. That's the point it gets to. I remember, I wouldn't say like February, it's like Vanguard year, and I was playing Cold War, and I remember people were using the AUG, Tech 9, the crossbow, the Marshall, the snipers, and I just got to a point where I just couldn't take it anymore, bro. I couldn't take it. It's like, bro, I stopped playing Cold War altogether, bro. That's all it became. Is these players are 2 KD or higher, right? They're all using cheese. It's like, at what point does this game get tired? And I'm just trying to use a regular gun, just trying to use a meta weapon. Like, before all these weapons were in the game, I think the weapon balance was pretty good. There were some, like, of course there's always going to be some overpowered weapons, but the weapon balance was pretty good. Since he's entered the game, forget about it. But that's my tier list. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe, and tell me what should I have changed. And I want to see you guys make a tier list in the comment section down below. Peace out.